It is time for the Catasetum update for the month of July. If things are looking sparse, it's because I've removed everything that isn't a Catasetum. I'm watering and I'm rearranging. This is Catasetum saccatum. Lies. This is Catasetum sanguineum. And this one, the growth is looking nice. I see no anthracnose so far this year, and I'm really pleased about that because last year I was really sad to see that it was developing all that. Galliandra dives is in bloom. It's been in bloom for a little bit. It's producing a branch. It'll continue to branch. It'll bloom through January if it really wants to, and it produces these beautiful flowers that to me smell like leather. It used to be tiny. This was the first growth that bloomed for me, and when I first got the plant, I would say I got a plant similar to this size, and then it died back to almost something this big that then produced this, that produced this, then this, and this. So now this plant is pretty large, and I'm really happy to see how many growths it's produced over the years. This is my favorite, Catasetum saccatum. This was the one that I got awarded an FCC last year for its display of 24 flowers. And I am hoping that I get a bigger display this year. Obviously, we're always hoping for bigger and better. And the reason I think that I might get it this year as opposed to last year, even though I really wanted that, is because just matching the sheaths to last year's growth, you can see that they're like almost identical spacing. You can see just how much taller this is. There's more leaves to compare this to, like side by side. The growths, you can see like here, for example. There is still probably this much more growth that can be produced compared to last year's. And if last year gave me 2 spikes of 24 flowers, I can only assume that this will produce for me a better show. I just hope that it'll be on at the same time if it does produce the same number of spikes, or that it produces something, with a higher flower count if it's not going to do that. Next to it is Catasetum Ivanae or Ivany. This one I got awarded in March, and it is nice to see how it's growing. I feel like I should have repotted it, but I don't see any real issues right now. Maybe when the spike comes out and things get weighed down, because the issue with this one is that this was starting to fall over because it was just so heavy with the leaves. So now that there are no leaves, I think it's just hardened and has stayed how it is. I like this plant because the flowers are very pendant, like they'll go sideways as soon as they detect there's no space underneath. It'll go straight down and produce those like pine cone like inflorescences that people seem to really like. Next to that is my Marmotes. This is a hybrid of Tapuyensis and Hookery. Hookery imparts its hairy lip onto the lip of this hybrid. Tapuyensis shrinks the plant, and comparatively, I think Hookery is pretty large. Tapuyensis is relatively smaller. It's not going to be as small as like my Encyclia bractescens, but relative to these guys, it's pretty small. On the second shelf, I'd like to say I typically have all my Catasetum during winter, but because they have leafed out and gotten so big, it doesn't make any sense to continue having them all clustered together, because all it takes is one fucking spider mite to take down the entire collection by jumping from plant to plant. And I don't want to have that happen again. Even worse if it's thrips. It's literally game over, end of season, cut off all the leaves, start again next year type shit. So with this, these are where I keep most of my seedlings because they are smaller. The height from the shelf to the lights is a shorter distance than the second shelf, I think by a foot or a foot and a half. So it's less accommodating for saccatum, which you can see is already getting close. It's already touching the lights up there. Anyway, the plants. I have more Marmotes. These are Andretti and Ralphana. Smells like grapefruit candy. Smells like kind of berries and vinyl. Very interesting. These got a head start. They grew faster than all my other Catasetum. It seems like they're maturing and they're probably going to go dormant sooner than the others. But this is basically final stage, what you would expect. This is a late start. This was an import that I got 2 years ago for my birthday. And it's just now starting, which is kind of shitty. This is supposed to start in January, but it's still catching up on the cycle. I'm just happy that it's happening sooner instead of this occurring like last year in, I think, October. We're almost synchronized. Next year you'll be on time. This is the mystery Catasetum. I got it from my friend Stefan, and well, it's never bloomed for me. He has no idea what it is. It was just a random abandoned bulb that he had, and we're going to see what it is once it does bloom out. He has a record of all the things that he's had grow out. I'm gonna be sick if this ends up being a Frey Clark or After Dark. He says that it might be Peleotum though. If it's Peleotum, okay, cool. I already have one. I might give it back to him because his died. But if it's an After Dark, I'm selling that. I don't need any more. I've had enough of that. And not that it's a bad hybrid. It's just, if I really want it, I can get it anywhere. It's not, quote, unique enough, end quote. Here we have Mormodes tapuyensis. This is a smaller one. You can see the last growth. I divided it, obviously, because it was not doing all that hot in the small pot. But now it's nice. The leaves are much bigger than last year. I'm really excited to see this thing. It smells like actual cut fresh grapefruit. It's very nice. This is the Cloandra Pink Panther that I got from Andrew Dracewood last month, and it's looking okay. I'm taking this might be a bloomer that produces spikes from below rather than the top, because it would have done that by now. Over here are the other miscellaneous. This is Grobia, one of the less known Catasetum species, genus orchids, and it's recovered. This was also an import. So for this tray, I've removed this one already. This is Mormodes tuxlensis. It is a species that I got from Marnie Turkel, and it's looking nice. It is huge. It is huge, honestly. Compared to what it used to be, I'm excited to see that it has 3 directions of growth. I'm not happy that I had to cut off the base and lay it down flat rather than having it grow out like the rest of these plants. But it is, what I have to do to make these plants do what they want to do. Galliandra magnicolumna. This is a clone jumbo. You can get this pretty often on eBay. I like the wavy shape these pseudobulbs have, and I love the fragrance on this plant. I'm glad that it seems to be dominant because this is one of the parents of this hybrid that I will get into in a bit. And this one smells good, and the other parent does not smell good. This is Galliandra pinknest. It is, who are you? No, Penny Lane. So it's Green Woodiana and Pink Mist crossed with each other. This one smells like wax to me. It's not the best fragrance. It looks similar to that Galliandra, but it's not the best fragrant plant to have. It is a reliable grower, though, and it is pretty compact for Galliandra. What I've recently learned is pronounced as Clausia Rosie, not Cloacia Rosie. It's nice. It's good. I should repot this. I should have repot this. It's kind of too late now, but I don't know. This should go in a 4-inch pot now. The flowers are going to be pendant and grow all around. I expect 5 spikes this coming year. That'll all smell very much like cherry cough syrup and sweet ginger. We're going to do miscellaneous. This is, who are you? Mormodes lineata. I have Mormodes, no, this is Clausia dodsoniana. I have one of the few tigrina that I have left of Catasetum tigrina. This was a flask plant. In bloom, I have the Galliandra magnifica. That is a cross of Green Woodiana and magnicolumna. And to me, ooh, this smells like lime zest and vanilla. It is such a very nice, fragrant flower. And what I like about this is that the flowers are long-lasting. These have been lasting longer than Dives, which is a surprise to me. Ooh, that is so nice. It is very nice to see these plants. I always say that. I love my plants. I love my plants. This is Cyrtopodium. Mystery. No idea what it is. This was a gift from my aunt. She was like, here, you want this? I was like, sure. And now I have it, and it's here, and it's getting big. It used to be tiny. Like, this was the first growth that it grew in my care. Because this, when did I get this? I got this in 2023. Whoa, no, this is this tiny little thing right here that's all shriveled up. You can barely see it. Let me see if I can zoom. Focus. This shriveled thing was the first growth that it grew for me, but now it's getting to be large. And then this is the Pileatum I mentioned earlier that I might either give away or keep. I don't know. I'm going to see what ends up happening with the potential Pileatum here. And then the other two are just other Tigrina Catasetum that I wanted to sell, but they were too tiny, so maybe next year, because they are putting on size now, clearly. I completely glossed over Sicanoki's Cooperi, and it is nice to see just how much this is going to grow in comparison to last year. This is a plant that grew this growth at the end of the previous growth, similar to what Mormodi's tuxalensis is doing. And this year, it was happy enough to produce a growth from the base, I guess because it was like large enough that it's like, okay, we got enough light that we can actually support it from the base rather than trying to reach for the top or whatever. This one I expect to get. Last year it gave me 6 flowers. This year, hopefully at least 10 beautiful flowers. Because I mean, looking at the size, you can see kind of like the notches. It still has to expand between. I expect this thing to be maybe this tall this year. Once all the leaves fall off. I'm not counting the leaves. I'm thinking the pseudobulb will probably be about this tight. I think it's going to look cool. And then the flasks I completely glossed over. These are my own hybrid crosses that I've been doing. It seems that some are doing it, some are not. This was the first that I did. This is Mormodi's, who are you? Andretti crossed with Sicanoki's Cooperi. And it didn't do too hot. There are still some like protocorms, but the fact that they're still just protocorms and haven't really done anything since then. I mean, well, this doesn't have a vent. There's a lot of factors that go into this not growing as I want it to. So much so that I decided to remake the cross, or rather remake the flask. And I only have one little green guy over there and then a yellow guy that doesn't seem to be doing as well. Even though I had more seed in here, I don't know what that is all about. Maybe the freshness, maybe just genetics, I don't know. But this one seems to be advancing more than this, despite being a month and a half younger than this one. This is what I'm really excited about. This is the Tapuyensis crossed with Andretti. These are actually producing true leaves now. It's only a matter of time. I would expect to deflask this sometime next year and probably have it bloom out in 2 years from now. So I'm really, this one's doing it for me. And it's going to be smelling like grapefruit because both parents do, though Andretti smells like candy, grapefruit, and then Tapuyensis smells like a fresh cut grapefruit, which I'm really excited to see if there's any change in, like, you know, the color pattern in the flower, the shape, etc. They are similar in color, but the shapes are vary quite a bit. And then over here are like the Galliandra crosses that I did. I have like one protocorm, and everything else that's kind of just the little lumps on the surface suggests that they attempted to germinate, but nothing has happened since. This is, when was this? Beginning of July. And then, who are you? This is Dives and Magni Columna. Not much has happened with that. And then all the other, like the Penny Lanes and the Magni Columna crosses, Dives crosses that I did, everything else got contaminated, so I just like got rid of them. So that is the Catasetum update for the month of July, and I'm going to have such a fun time putting everything together once I finish watering.